All right, good evening and welcome to the show. This is Watchman Young Adult Forum, and tonight we have a very important session, which I'm very sure is going to impact you greatly. And it will be good that you are online and you are available, and you also try to share the page or the group's link to other platforms, Watchman platforms, where we have young people so that they can uh, join, they can key in. So once again, you're welcome. This session tonight is tagged influential leadership. Influential leadership. Branding yourself as a star. Wow, that's a very powerful one. Influential leadership, branding yourself as a star. I'm very sure that this evening you're going to really um, benefit greatly. You're going to glean a lot from this session and want you to stay tuned with us. The issue of leadership is, um, is something that has to do with everybody, every sector, ranging from the church to the secular to, you know, various areas. Leadership is key. In fact, John C. Maxwell, who is an authority in leadership, said, everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So this evening, we're going to be looking at this, how you can brand yourself as a star by becoming influential in your leadership. And John C. Maxwell also asserted that leadership is about influence. Leadership is about influence, it's about one life influencing another life. So where there is no influence, so this evening, I want you to stay with us, journey with us, share the platform, share the link with others so that they can join us. Want to see how you can brand yourself as a star. We know that at the heart of the numerous challenges that we have, both in organizations, in the church, in many places, leadership is at the heart of such problem. And that's why everything rises and falls on leadership. Branding yourself as a star is very important. In fact, the world has evolved so much that you need to be a star. You need to shine. If you are not shining, if you are not a star and you're not shining, no one looks at you. No one gives attention to you. No one will, come near you. So you need to brand yourself, make yourself a brand and become a star so that you can shine. And you cannot become a star if you don't brand yourself. So without much ado, we have an expert in leadership on leadership issues who will be doing justice to the topic tonight, influential leadership, branding yourself as a star. His name is Val Okafor. I'm going to read his profile as I prepare to call him up so that he will do justice or he can do justice to the topic tonight. And then we flow. Val Okafor is an effective leadership evangelist, productivity strategist, transformational speaker, and social innovator. With an incredible passion to help individuals and corporations achieve exponential growth, he brings to bear practical knowledge that translates to wisdom and results. He sits as the executive director and training consultant at the Val Okafor Company, development and personal effectiveness trainings for individuals and corporations. He's a Nigerian Youth SDGs, Social Development Goals, champion, African Changemakers Fellow, Commonwealth Open Source Leader, alumnus of yearly Regional Leadership Conference, West Africa, and a proud ambassador of the Philadelphia Leadership Network. Val exudes an unsurpassed passion for nation building and human capital development, especially for developing nations across the globe. He believes that as you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give others the permission to do the same. Wow, that's an amazing profile. So, without wasting time, join me as we welcome our guest for tonight, Okafor. You're welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on board. You're very
Thank you
much
very much.
welcome. The stage is yours. You're welcome.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much, sir. I am deeply
Yeah,
humbled. Thank you for having me. Before we do
you're welcome.
anything, I just want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the leadership of the Watchman Young Adult Forum. The impact that has been felt in this forum within the short period of time speaks volume of the hard work that goes behind the scenes. So I really want to appreciate every one of you that sit at the board of this incredible organization. Thank you for the privilege and the honor given to me to share my thoughts, my experiences in the area of leadership. So, um, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, mommies and daddies, my name is Val Okafor, and tonight we're going to be looking at influential leadership and then how you can brand yourself as a star. All right. Many persons have asked me, Val, are leaders born or are leaders made? And I'm like, okay, if you think leaders are made, you're right. If you think leaders are born, you are equally right. Okay, but my opinion is everyone is a leader because inherent in everyone is the capacity to lead. The problem is that many persons have not yet activated their leadership, their leadership potentials. They are yet to activate their leadership potential. So everyone has the capacity to lead. All right. So that is what makes everyone a leader. The very moment you assume the responsibility to solve problems, automatically you have become a leader. All right. So tonight we want to look at how you can brand yourself as a star. But first of all, let's start from the foundation. What then is leadership? Many school of thought have given definitions, and so many of you might be thinking that leadership is when you are the governor or the president or the manager. Well, you may be correct, but that is positional leadership. Positional leadership, and of course, that is the lowest form of leadership. Why? Because people will only follow you because they don't have an option. They will follow you because they have to. They'll follow you because they are obligated to follow you. But until they start following you because they love and respect you, there's still much work to be done. All right. So what then is this leadership? Now, I define leadership as a prestigious lifestyle, a prestigious lifestyle of vision. Okay, just in case you're writing down, leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of vision, of impact, of empathy, of influence, of commitment, which distinguishes you from the pack and places you at the peak. Okay, leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of vision, of impact, of empathy, of commitment, of influence, which distinguishes you from the pack, okay, from the very large group of people, and places you at the peak of the pack. So I'm going to disintegrate these definitions and explain the key terms there. So leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of vision. What is vision? Vision is simply a mental picture of a desirable future. Vision is a mental picture of a desirable future. Vision, of course, is an integral part of leadership. So that is why I'm taking my time to explain the key terms in this definition. All right. So vision is a mental picture of the future you desire. And recently, I added that it is a mental picture of the future you desire and you want to feature in Feature. So you've imagined it, but at the same time, you want to feature in that future you have imagined. That's vision. Vision is also the ability to see the end from the beginning. One of the characteristics of God. The ability to see the end from the beginning is like an architect who draws a house, but physically we can't see the house standing anywhere. But on paper, the house is completed. So we can say that this is a visionary aspect of that building. The end from the beginning. Though it has not happened, but we have pictured it right in our mind. That is what vision is about. Okay, I'm going to elaborate this because this is very important, and this is what is missing in third world Africa and Nigeria, as you can see. Now, 1976, most of our fathers can attest to this fact that they could buy anything with the 1 naira. They could buy a lot of things with 10 naira, with 20 naira. Okay. Very interestingly, if I needed 100 naira, you would bring $133 to exchange for 100 naira. That was around 1976, 1978. Okay. So if you graduated from any university, you needn't any exams like IELTS, like TOEFL, like QMAT, like GMAT, because as at that time they were considered equal. You would just get admission into universities like Cambridge, Oxford, Harvard. Nobody would ask you to do an advanced test and all that. All right, 1976, 1978, and our fathers leveraged these opportunities and most of them schooled abroad. Okay, now 40 years later, 50 years later, what is happening? $1 is equals to almost 570 plus. Okay, if you graduate from any university and you want to get a scholarship, you will write all the tests, QMAT, GMAT, and all the maths before you get into Ivy League schools. What is the problem? Absence of vision. Okay, the people who led us could not see beyond nothing propelling them for the future. Okay, that is why I say this is very key and important. They were just manifesto driven, okay, rather than vision driven. Manifesto driven rather than vision driven. All right. So vision is key in any nation. Now, when that was happening, another city in the United Arab Emirates was a complete desert. And some of you can attest to this fact. If you Google it, you would see it. 1976, if I gave you a free visa to go to Dubai, you would reject that visa. You would reject the free transport because there was nothing fascinating about Dubai as at 1976. There was nothing interesting. There was nothing alluring that could, attract your attention to a city like Dubai. But in 2021, a lot of us wants to go there for vacation, for tourism, for business. The question is, what happened between 1976 and 2021? Simple vision, ability to see the future, ability to predict the future, and then get to work. All right. So you can see the difference between what happened in this geographical location and what happened in the other geographical location. So when I say leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of vision, this is very important. So you now want to ask yourself, what vision do I have for my family? What vision do I have for my personal life? What vision do I have for my career? What vision do I have for my church? What vision do I have for my business, as the case may be? So you have to constantly think the future. You have to constantly think the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 30 years. Is that okay? So this is very important, and that's one of the key factors in this definition. Then, of course, it says it's a prestigious lifestyle of impact. Leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of impact. What is leadership without impact? Impact is simply the feeling people have after you have left them. Okay, so if you come in contact with me and then you leave, what feeling would I have? Will I regret ever meeting you? Will I regret ever having anything to do with you? Will I regret ever connecting with you or speaking with you? So this is very important. Impact is key. Impact is an integral part of leadership. It is so sad that we have over the years had people in organizations, in political spheres, who just come and go, who just come and then all they are interested in is how to get for me, my family, my relative, my mother, and my father. Right? They are not interested in how other people feel. They are not interested in how other people feel. Abraham Maslow popularized a theory called the theory of human motivation. At 1943, the theory of human motivation made popular the hierarchy of needs. The hierarchy of needs include physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, self-esteem needs, and then at the peak of the pyramid is what we call the self-actualization needs. Now, many countries of the world are currently at the fourth level, which is self esteem. They are not struggling with food, clothes, water, electricity. Okay, that is why whenever I have the opportunity to share thoughts about this, and I'm like, see, we have to come to a point where light will stop being a prayer point. Okay, Father, in the name of Jesus, before I go home, let there be light. No, that should cease. It's a basic amenity that should be part of the people's lives. Okay, food in Nigeria today, if you are able to eat 3 square meals, you see yourself as a big boy, as a big one. No, other countries of the world have gone past that. They have gone back, they're shaping culture, they're implementing policies that will affect continents. Okay, so they've moved past that. And why am I so passionate saying these things? It's because I know that one day you are going to assume a leadership position. I know that one day you are going to become a minister of something. I know that one day you're going to lead an organization, and you don't want to continue the trend. You want to interrupt what has been happening over the years. You want to be able to leave a positive impact in the lives of people who come in contact with you, who work in your organization, who are under your jurisdiction, your constituency. Okay, so this is very important. It's a prestigious lifestyle of impact. The people must be able to say, yes, I've been able to benefit from the leadership of this person. Okay, the likes of Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, these persons will forever be in the history books of the world because of the impact they made. And when you look at it, it's not just about money. Impact is not just about, I've told so many people several times that impact is not about money. If you don't, money is part of it, yeah. But if you don't have money, you have good words. It's so sad that some people don't have money and they don't have good words either. So if you don't have money, you have good words. If you don't have good words, you have attention, you have your energy. There is something you have and you can offer to the next person to be able to impact positively. Okay, for example, what we are doing today, this is totally free, totally free. Mr. Pastor Innocent will bear me witness that a training like this you pay in 6 figures to access them, but now it's coming to every one of us for free. For free. That is impact because of a platform that was created by some set of people to be able to impact in the lives of the next generation of future leaders. Tomorrow, somebody who must have heard these things and improved his or her life will become something meaningful and will make reference to a day that he or she accessed this information. That's impact. That is impact. So I'm challenging us today to be able to impact in the life of the next person by your side, the life of the next person by your side, in the school, in the church, at the workplace. Okay, it doesn't have to be money always. I've mentioned time, I've mentioned attention, I've mentioned even energy. Your energy is part of the tool you can use to make impact. Okay, so much on this, so much on this. So I'll go over to the next key term, which is empathy. Leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is simply, in a layman's understanding, putting yourself in the shoes of another person, trying to feel how another person will feel. And this is a problem with employers of labor, with political leaders, with people who are at the helm of affairs. No empathy. No empathy. How is it that people die and there is not a sound coming from the people who lead us? I mean, and what you are interested is in how many people died, how many Igbos died, how many Yorubas died, how many Hausas died, okay, and no longer life. It's so sad, and I know that you know this, that before religion, before tongue, tribes, and tongue, we are first humans. These people should understand this, that we are first humans before these divides across ethnic groups. Okay. Oh my God, I remember this. You see, poverty is one of the connecting factor in this country. Poverty in Kaduna, poverty in Lagos. No light in Boronu, no light in Jos. Kidnapping in Ebonyi, kidnapping in Zaria. These are some of the things we have in common, apart from our religion and our languages. We have these things in common. Bad road in common, poor electricity in common, low quality education in common. So are these people thinking on how to make impact or feeling what these people are feeling? Okay, I'm talking about empathy now. Trying to feel what these people are, and that is why these people grow, and the poor are becoming more poorer. So the class that exists in society has created a divide that is so wide, okay? And so people are under pressure to meet up to the class. And when they cannot afford the means, they will steal, they will kidnap, they will break the law, and you're wondering what is happening. Okay, so it's simply because you have not tried to put yourself in the shoes of other people. Now, let me bring it home, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't try to think, how will this person feel when I open my mouth to speak? If you don't try to feel, try to understand how this person will feel when I act this way, then there's a problem. Then you need to start afresh. Thank God we're talking about leadership skill. Thank God we're talking about influential leadership and how to brand yourself as a star. It all starts from now on some of these things we're talking about. So before you open your mouth to speak, make sure that these words are seasoned with grace. Thank God we're familiar with the Bible. Okay, seasoned with salt, seasoned with grace. Make sure that as the next person hears it, kind of satisfies the soul, the body, the spirit. Okay, so so much on that. And then, of course, leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of commitment. Commitment. Okay, leaders commit. They commit their resources, they commit their time, they commit their energy to make sure that things are done. They commit. They don't just make empty promises. They don't just have fantasy, or try to just have great vision. No, they commit to it. Leaders commit. Leaders are intentional people. When they say a thing, they want to do that thing. Okay, so you want to become a star at your place of work, at school, at church, anywhere you find yourself, you must commit. You must commit. You must commit to your vision. You must commit to making impact. You must commit to living an empathetical life, a life of empathy. Okay, you must commit. There has to be some level of sacrifice to make sure that all of the things that you are dreaming, all of the things that you want to achieve, all of the things you want to do, it's being done. Okay, now an example is when Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. That's commitment. He envisioned South Africans being liberated from the shackles and this oppression of the white guys that were colonizing them. And if you read about the apartheid in South Africa, it was terrible. So he committed to seeing that oppression was rolled away. He was in prison for 27 years until at some point his body started deteriorating, but his vision was alive. Okay, so leaders commit. They don't just speak empty words, they don't just dream, they wake up to pursue the dream. So you have to commit, and that is what one of the big problems we are facing across organizations and the society, because people don't commit. People make empty promises and then they leave it. But you don't want to be that way. You don't want to be like that. As you work in the organization, as you commit yourself in one service or another, you want to be intentional about it. You want to give in your best. You want to put in your best to make sure that everything that you have been given the responsibility to do, because leadership is assumed responsibility, everything that you have been given the responsibility to do, you are doing them. Okay. And then, of course, leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of influence. Influence. Okay. Leadership is nothing without followers. There has to be people who are looking up to you, people who are saying, I want to be like this. I want to do what this person is doing. I want to dress like this person. I want to speak like this person. I want to act like this person. That is influence, ability to compel people to do what you want them to do. That is influence, ability to compel people to do what you want them to do. And sometimes you may not even need to open your mouth, just by seeing your hairdo, because you have commanded some level of influence. You see people doing the same hairdo as you are. You see people dressing the same way you're dressed. You see people acting the same. And that is why we can look into the society and see people who are trying to copy others. It happens even in the religious sector. Some persons are copying some other, maybe the mentor who is a pastor, and they're trying to speak the same way as he's speaking. They want to dress the same way as that pastor is dressing. They want to live like that. That is influence. Leadership is influence. Okay. Pastor Innocent made that statement during the introduction, and that's very true. It's an assertion by John Maxwell that leadership is influence. Okay, everything we do today is as a result of influence, whether directly or indirectly. As you are now, there is somebody looking at you who is praying and wishing to just be like you, who is praying and wishing to act the way you're acting. And you also is looking up to somebody. You're looking up to somebody. You're like, oh my God, if I'm able to just achieve what this person has achieved, then I am satisfied. Then I'm going to be okay. That's influence. Okay. So leadership is a prestigious lifestyle of all of these things I have mentioned. Okay. So in any area that you see that you're not really measuring up, this is a fantastic opportunity to start working on it. And okay, so let's move on to the next item, which is the three pillars of leadership. Three pillars of leadership. One is what I call the value addition driven mentality. The value addition driven mentality. See, if you want to brand yourself as a star, you want to be influential, okay, you have to take away the mentality of me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. And start thinking of how can I help? Okay? How can I help? Start asking, how can I help? Stop asking, what is in for me? Stop asking what is in for me. Waiting I go get. How much you go pay me? Lots of young people. I mean, I know that money is very, very important, but I don't know how far you can see. I don't know how far your vision is. But if you really want to go far, then you have to jettison the mentality of give me and embrace the mentality of how can I help? So start asking the question, how can I help? Anywhere you find yourself, start asking, how can I help? How can I be of help in this organization? How can I be of help in this church? How can I be of help in this school? How can I be of help in this office? Value addition driven mentality. Value addition driven mentality. You see, most Africans just live to make a living. Most Africans just live to make a living. Only few live to make an impact. Those ones that make an impact, they are the ones called stars. They're the ones we are celebrating today. They're the ones the history will remember. Those who are able to make impact and not just concentrate in making a living. Okay, what is life? You wake up, go to school, graduate, get a job, get a wife, have kids, buy a house at Lekki or Banana Island. Great. You have your cars and then you die. I mean, every other person can do that. Do what is unconventional, impacting in people's life, giving. That's what many people cannot do. So, and that's what separates leaders from followers. Value addition mentality. Value addition mentality. You are value addition driven. Anywhere you find yourself, you're thinking, how can I make contributions with my skill? I have the skill of oratory, and you're sitting down. Come on, you're supposed to be helping the kids. You're supposed to be, moderating sessions. You're supposed to be in one uh, a platform or another that has to do with talking to people. Okay, and you are there, and you know that the people who are taking over these responsibilities are not doing it properly, and you fold your arms. No, 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 no. It is not acceptable. Okay, you have to conscious. And why I'm saying this is because I have done it in the past. 2014 was the year I discovered myself. I came to myself. It was an understanding I had. Now, it's maybe shocking, but then I suffered what is called impostor syndrome. I had inferiority complex. I was very shy. I couldn't stand before people. If you say, Val, you in 3 or 7 years' time, you're going to be speaking to large crowds of people, I'll be like, forget it. It's a lie. I'll run away. I'll run away because that was not what I wanted. Okay. So, but purpose is bigger than you. Purpose is the reason for your existence. So I had this compelling burden to add value to the lives of young people in my church, in my diocese, in my parish. Okay, so I looked at the environment. I said, I can teach these young ones how to succeed in their WAEC. I can teach these young ones how to succeed in their UTME. Okay, so I'm explaining value addition driven mentality so that you begin to change your mind and change your orientation to start adding value to that place you find yourself. Is that okay? That's how to become a star. That's how to brand yourself, to become influential. Okay, so I kicked it off. Remember, I was still having all of these inferiority complex. I was still having all of this imposter syndrome and all that. But then I had this compelling body to help these young ones. And then I started it. I spoke to my elder brother. I said, you know how to teach maths, chemistry, and physics. Please come and help me. Help me teach these younger ones. And he agreed. I spoke to my friend who run a computer institute. I said, please come, help me, teach them English language and other things. Because I was still suffering from these limitations. I was I was at the back and they were the front men. So we had the first edition. It went well, and then I told myself, no, I'm the visionary. I'm supposed to be in front of these people. And I started practicing. I started rehearsing, how to speak in front of them, how to be able to moderate sessions, how to, I was just trying to make sure that I do this thing that God had called me to do. And then before you know it, like they would say, practice makes what perfect. The more you do, it's Malcolm Gladwell that popularized the 10,000 principle. What you do for 10,000 times, you become an expert. So I didn't even get up to 10,000, and I was able to command so much influence where I started from. So before you knew it, it grew and grew and grew until it left the premises of the church and went into the community, and then from schools, and then to platforms, and where I find myself today. So I'm just sharing this to to encourage someone out there who is loaded with talent and who is thinking, how do I start? Very simple. Start from where you are. Start from your sphere of influence. And your sphere of influence include your church, your family, okay, include your school. So these are your sphere of influence. The people there are familiar with, they know you. If you make mistakes, they will not shoot you. The highest they can do is to laugh. Okay, all right. So you want to start from your sphere of influence to be able to add value to the lives of those people. Now, time will fail me. I would have shared lots of stories of how I was able to add value to the lives of those. Even in my undergraduate days, I remember very vividly. Oh, I schooled at University of Nigeria in Suka, and then I studied the environment for 2 years. I was like, how can I add value here? How can I be part of the solution providers and not a part of the problem to be solved? The problem is, if you're not a solution provider, then automatically you are part of the problem. So I said, I wasn't going to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution providers. I want to be part of the people who will bring solution to this rural community. And in 2018, I coordinated a leadership development program for about 150 children in the city of Ansuka. Remember, Ansuka is a rural community, and so bringing something like a finishing school was very new to them. Some parents were skeptical about the idea. They were like, is this thing real? Are you kidnapping our kids? How are we sure that you're not going to run with them? And I'm like, no, 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 it's not going to be negative on them. And we had the program, 150 children. We are trained in the area of personal leadership, in the area of uh, peer pressure, influence, ability to overcome that peer pressure influence. And when they went home, they were telling their mommies and daddies their experiences. It was so fantastic. The next year, 2019, guess what? We had 240 additional children who came on board to be trained. And it was fantastic. And I was so happy that before I left Nsuka, more than 400 children had gotten exposure to leadership development training. We gave out materials, we gave out a lot of things, and I wouldn't want to take your time to share on this platform. So I'm saying that one of the pillars of leadership is value addition driven mentality. Please imbibe this mentality, imbibe the mentality of giving and not always looking for what to take. Okay? Not always looking for what to take. All right? I think it was John F. Kennedy that says, think not what America will do for you, think what you can do for America. Think not what Nigeria can do for you. Think of what you can do for Nigeria. Think not what the watchman will do for you. Think of what you can do for the ministry. Think of what you can do for the ministry. Think of what you can do in the parish level where you find yourself, okay? In the school, at the workplace. This is so important. This is so key. All right. So much on that. That's one of the pillars of um, leadership. The second pillar is problem solving. You want to become a solution provider and not a part of the problem to be solved. Okay, like I said, if you're not solving a problem, you're part of the problem. Now you want to become somebody who solves problem. And I used to share with my community, and anywhere I have the opportunity to speak, I tell them that, see, if you are not missed, if people don't miss you, okay, then there's a problem. I know some persons will say, I don't care. If nobody misses me, I don't care. You have to start caring today. You have to start caring because your reputation is a sum total of what people perceive you to be, especially when you're not in the room. Especially when you're not in the room, especially when you're not around, the sum total of the perception, okay? What people think about you, especially when you're not there, makes up your reputation. So I say invest in your reputation capital. Invest in building your reputation capital. So you have to care. You have to care. If people don't miss you, you have to start caring today. There's a popular quote by Fela Durotoye, and he says that if your presence adds no value, then your absence creates no vacuum. Or if your absence creates no vacuum, then your presence adds no value. I mean, you're around and nobody know that you're around. You left the place and nobody notices the vacuum. Nobody notices the absence. I mean, there's a whole lot to be done. There's a whole lot to be done. People should miss you. Why should they miss you? Because you're a problem solver. Okay? Because you're a problem solver. Because when you are around, things don't go wrong. When you're around, in fact, today, music ministration will be fantastic. Okay, because you're around. All right. People should be able to say, if Maxwell were to be here, then this thing wouldn't have been happening. People should be able to say that. People should be able to say that of you, that you're not around. Oh my God, where are you? Come now, come now, come now, come now. All right. So you want to be part of the people who solve problems, and not people who create problems. That when you're gone, praising the Lord always, and we are doing Thanksgiving because you're gone. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. Leaders are people who solve problems. Okay, so let's go over to, because my time is galloping. I can see how my time is running, and I want to know if we're getting value. Okay, I don't know if I can see the comment section. If you're getting value, let me see, and if this is making sense. Okay, let me just see in the comment section.
It's making a whole lot of sense. Please go ahead. We're
All
enjoying
right.
it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So let's go over to the third pillar of leadership, and that is legacy building. Building a great legacy. And sometimes people think that your legacy is after you've died. No, your legacy starts the next minute. Your legacy is a testament that somebody like you came, somebody like you existed, somebody like you is living, is alive. That's what legacy is. And your legacy consists of your words, the words you speak, the decisions you take, the actions you take. Okay, the words you speak, the decisions you make, the actions that you take. So you want to ask yourself, now that I've known that my legacy begins the next minute, if I want to say a thing, I want to be able to think, this thing I'm about to say, how will it sound? If someone else says it to me, how would I feel? If someone else does this thing to me, how would I feel? Many times we judge people by their actions and judge ourselves by our intentions. It's so true. We judge ourselves by our own intentions, what we think, but we judge other people by their action so fast. And so I needed to say that so you can have an introspection and start working on yourself. All right. Then so please invest in your legacy. Invest in your legacy. This is so interesting, and I need to say it before I go over to the last part of this conversation. I need to say this thing. It's very important. If your name is mentioned, okay, if your name is mentioned, will it open doors of opportunity, or will it close the door? Is your name a padlock or a key? Think about it. Now, I mentioned, let me just pick a random name. I mentioned Ukamaka, and people are like, wow, which of the Ukamaka? Is it that one? Oh my God, she's great, fantastic, good lady. What do you want? And they offer you an opportunity simply by me mentioning your name. Simply by me. That is what we talk about legacy. And it is so sad that people who lead us, I mean, the very top guys, are not thinking in this direction. They don't care. What about my children's children? What about my great grandchildren? They will mention this name. This name will continue to follow their first name. And of course, if the father did something wrong, something oppressional, oppressing to the lives of people, it will definitely haunt their children. So people don't pay attention to this. So back to us. Let me domesticate it. If I mention your name, will people say, wow, If it's for this person, I trust her. I Because you have mentioned her name, because you have mentioned his name, take this opportunity. Oh, you're welcome. They will treat you well simply by mentioning your name. So is your name a key or a padlock? Think about it. Think about it. Okay, as we go over to how you can develop effective leadership attributes, and then how you can brand yourself as a star. Just four quick lessons, 4 quick points, and then we'll call it a wrap on this conversation. Now, one of it is that we're talking about how you can now start branding yourself, how you can now start certain attributes you need to put in place. One, increase your love quotient. Leadership without love is tyranny. Leadership without love is tyranny. Okay, it's dictatorship. You need to have love first for yourself. If you don't love yourself, how can you love another person? If you don't have love on the inside of you, how can you love the next person? So you have to increase your love quotient. You have to love people. Love people. Love people. Leadership is about people. Okay. So you have to love people. Increase your love quotient for yourself first, then for other people. Okay. Your love quotient is very important. Make it, learn it, learn it. Learn to appreciate people, learn to love people. Okay, it will help you. It's There's a training we have for interns, volunteers, and people who work in the corporate world. It's called service excellence training, increasing your likability in the workplace. You just, people like you, they want to be close to you, they want to be around you. It's a skill, a skill, rare skill, that when you acquire it, everybody wants to have something to do with you. Okay, two is be a role model worthy of emulation. Be a role model worthy of emulation. Let people look at you and say and be able to learn something from you, and be able to pick out something from you. Okay, and be able to pick one thing from you and say, I love the way you do this. I love the way you go about things. I want to learn patience from you. I want to learn diligence from you. I want to learn honesty from you. I want to learn time management from you. I want to learn something. So be a role model worthy of emulation. And you don't have to be old to do this. You don't have to be 50 years, 100 years to do this. No, you can be 17. Okay. And people will want to learn from you. Jesus was 12. At the time, he was conversing with philosophers, with doctors of the law, with people who have gone to schools, with scribes and Pharisees, masters of the scripts. He was 12, but they wanted to learn, they wanted to glean from his own wisdom. They were marveled. How did you learn this thing? Come on, how did you come to this level of understanding? And we saw that when Nicodemus came to Jesus at night. At night, okay, of course, because if he came in the morning, the people who he has been teaching would try to, I mean, you are a master of the law, so what are you doing with this one? But he understood that there are levels in this thing. There are levels. So he came and started inquiring on how he can make his life better. So you don't have to be old to become a model. You don't have to be old to become a model. At 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 30, you can be a role model worthy of emulation. Okay, so the third one is consistently grow your reputation capital. I've said this during the conversation. Okay, consistently grow your reputation capital. Okay, you work for a bank, and then for some reasons you left. Not that they sacked you or they retired you because of misconduct, no, but you retired because you saw something bigger. And anytime, okay, let me just share this very little story. Okay, I know my time is up now. I During my final year, there was a community I was posted to. So I served in that community for 17 months. I made sure that I left that community not the way I met it. Okay, I impacted in that community. There was a time we had to repaint the school and make certain level of impact in that community. Now I had graduated. This is 3 years after. And one of the students just sent me a text on WhatsApp saying, Val, can you remember that school? I said, yes. Do you know that the headmistress is still talking about you till today? She's asking us to emulate you. I mean, this is 3 years. 3 years has gone, and I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? I just did little things, and this woman will keep on saying this and saying this and saying that, and then she's asking them to emulate what I did. Now, so it's a reputation for me. It's a reputation for the department. It's a reputation for the university. Now, this is so key because anywhere you go, you represent your organization. You represent your business. You represent, and this is so important. I shared it today when I was having a conversation with somebody. It was a training on how business leaders can create an enabling environment for high performance. I said, you are your organization. Anywhere you go, people don't look at Dr. Promise. They look at where you're coming from. They look at either the hospital or the family or the church you are coming from. So when you misbehave, it's not Promise misbehaved. It's people from so, people from your workplace. They are like this. Okay, you were the one who made a mistake, but now they are reporting it as people from your place. We've heard it several times that certain people from certain place behave this way, even though they encountered one person. That is why this is so key. And if we understand it individually, then collectively we'll start making sense. Okay, so grow your reputation capital so that it will definitely be of benefit to the people who come after you. Ooh, 8:55. So I know that my time is up now. So before I allow Doctor to take over and maybe to see if there are possible questions, let me share these life lessons with you all. I've been sharing it recently, and I'm sure it's going to help you. So this will wrap up everything I've been saying. Okay, this will wrap up everything I've been saying today. Now, these life lessons goes thus. One, study while others are sleeping. Okay, study while others are sleeping. Decide while others are delaying. Decide while others are delaying. Prepare while others are daydreaming. Prepare while others are daydreaming. Begin while others are procrastinating. Okay, begin while others are procrastinating. Work while others are lazying. Work while others are lazying. Save while others are wasting. Save while others are wasting. Listen while others are talking. Listen while others are talking. Smile like I'm smiling while others are frowning. Okay, so make sure you maintain the disposition that is attractive. So you smile while others are frowning. And finally, persist while others are quitting. Persist while others are quitting. And I would love to say this, that there are no limits to what we can achieve. There are no limits to the level we can get to. It's just a matter of time, and we will see ourselves at the highest places possible. And with this, I've come to the end of my discussion. Thank you so much for your ear time, and I really want to appreciate our hosts, the Watchman Young Adult Forum. Thank you, Dr. Promise. Thank you, Pastor Innocent. Thank you, Mr. Balogun, Pastor Balogun Sunday. Thank you, Barrister Mike, and every one of you behind the scene, making sure that this platform continues to impact positively in the lives of the young adults in this movement. And so, thank you very much. And this is where I will draw the curtain. I cannot hear you.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you
I can
very
hear you
much.
now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you very
welcome, sir.
much. That was very very explosive, very explosive, and a lot of nuggets have been released, and I'm very sure that our viewers, our audience, were able to glean a lot of things from this session, and believing that from today we'll go on to become influential in our various uh, places in our sphere of influence, going to make impact, running ourselves as stars, and making impact from wherever we are, starting where we are, or starting from where we are, becoming solution providers, and not just you know those who create the problems. Thank you very much, Stova. And we don't know if there are questions. Please, audience, if you have any questions to ask, very free. Let's have them on the comment section so that our guests can take those questions. However, I believe that the session, the teaching was very clear, very explicit enough. But if you still have questions uh, on any area, you're free to ask. While we're waiting for likely questions from our audience, I want to ask this very important question. Um, and I'm asking it for the benefit of our audience, our viewers. You made mention of positional leadership, and you're able to, describe it as the lowest form of leadership, where people are just they're under obligation to follow by virtue of the position, you know, that one holds. They're obligated to follow. So I want to ask this very important question. What do you think can be done, or how can someone transit from positional leadership to influential leadership? How can that transition be made? Because if we take a cursory look into the society, in the secular, and even in the church, particularly in the church, you notice that most leaders are being followed or are being respected by virtue of their position, because of their position, not because they are really making impact or they are really, leaving some legacy behind in terms of, an exemplary life or whatever. So we want to hear from you. How can this switch? How can this transition be made? Transiting from positional leadership to influential leadership, or to transformational leadership, which is
Yeah.
the main thing, because uh, um, positional leadership is more or less like, it's just like occupying a position without
Mm,
really much
mm,
impact. So,
yes.
and you made mention that it is the lowest form. I think
Yes.
I'm right. It's the lowest form
Yes,
of
sir. Yes,
leadership.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you think? What do you think can be done to make this transition? I think it is
Okay.
in this. I think it is in this transition that will have effective leadership.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
how can people in various positions who may just be positional leaders, how can they make transition from that status to becoming influential leaders or transformational leaders? Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, sir. This is very important. This question is so important. Now, how positional leaders can transcend to become influential leaders. Now, your position has given you an opportunity. It has given you an opportunity to interact with people. Okay, so if peradventure you were just appointed to occupy this position, that is an opportunity. That's a platform to now bring out the real, true leadership qualities on the inside of you. Sometimes many people we know today, maybe our principals or our pastors, they grew from just becoming a pastor to becoming a father. Now they passed through many things that are going to impact position. They transcended just being pastors to becoming fathers. Okay, there was something that pastor did. There were certain actions that pastor took. There were certain decisions that pastor, made that made him not to be seen as just a shepherd, but now as a father that people can always run to lay their complaints. He's a shoulder upon which many people cry on because of certain things. And I don't want to go over to start listing some of those things. So if you are in a position, it's not enough. It's not, by the time you leave that position, people are going to be clapping and celebrating and thanking God that you have left. Now, how can you make your living become something that people will pray that you remain? People will pray that, oh, come back again, come back again. It's when you have now looked away from I am the president, I am the governor, I'm the commissioner, I'm the pastor, I am the this, I am the that, to start directly affecting their lives. Okay, let me also use a global example of what happened. Nelson Mandela, 4 years, just 4 years, one tenure, okay? But look at the impact that was made. One tenure, by virtue of being the president, that was positional, but it transcended to be able to affect individual lives. When he left, you can see the celebration all over the world. I can say that he's one of the African presidents that have statues. Like his statues are everywhere in the world, in the US, because of the impact he made. Positional leadership transcended to influential leadership by virtue of doing some of the things I've mentioned, being a problem solver, being empathetic, impacting the lives of people directly. So if you're the principal of a school, that's an opportunity to impact directly in the lives of the students. If you're a pastor, that is an opportunity to impact directly in the lives of the flocks. So the people are not respecting you by virtue of being just a pastor. They're respecting you because they love you, because you have shown that you are interested in their growth and development. They're respecting you not because you are the CEO or the executive director or the boss or anything, but because you have moved from that position to impact their life directly. There was one American president, I've forgotten his name, who celebrated the cleaner, who said, wow, this is good. The job you're doing, you are keeping the White House so clean. That was just, you can imagine the president. What relationship does he have with the cleaner? What relationship? Ideally, he's not even supposed to, interact with all of these people. But he came down from that high horse of being the president, and he wanted to impact directly in the lives of the people who work with him. Okay, so if you are in a position, see it as an opportunity to transcend. See it as an opportunity to grow the leader. It's a leadership ladder. Okay, from position, then you move up to the pinnacle, which is what we're talking about today, influential leadership. So that is how you can move from positional leadership to influential leadership. Trust me, yeah, a lot of people will be calling on you, even though your tenure has passed and your period has gone, and they'll be crying like, we need you back, come back, come and be with us. And you can using the Nigerian situation, I don't want to mention names, but um okay, a leader who will, when he comes back again, will openly accept him and embrace him because of certain things that were done. All right, so I hope that answers the question. And just before I go, I have an announcement I will make. That's after you have made your comments. There's an announcement I shared with the admin. I would love to make to our audience, and I hope they jump on it. So, sir, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. That was so apt. Thank you very much. I'm very sure that our viewers, our audience have been able to learn a lot of things from this session, even tonight. We are hoping and expecting that people will, from today decide to become not just positional leaders, but transformational leaders by, you know, making impact, leaving a legacy behind, being value driven and taking up projects that are people centered, people
Yes.
oriented or people centered projects that will
Yes.
impact the people, the society, the community, and all of that. And then, so that by the time they are gone, we can say that they truly lived. They didn't
Exactly.
exist, but they lived because
Exactly.
they must have left their footprints on the sands of time.
Of
On
time.
the
Yes,
sands of
sir.
time. Thank you very
Exactly.
much. Thank you very much, Va.
You're welcome, sir.
We are glad to have you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And
Thank you, sir.
we believe that our people will go on to make use of this knowledge, translate it into action. All right. Thank you very much. We
You're welcome.
will give you the platform to. I want to tell our viewers that our guest has something very important, something that he's cooking, and it's a very good meal. And I think I've seen the flyer; it's quite loaded, and I'm very sure that many of our people are going to jump on it because it's really going to help them. So
Yeah.
you can tell us about what you are cooking, so that
Okay.
we can
Okay.
know
Can,
about it. Yeah.
All
sorry,
right.
sorry. Please, can you hold on? Someone is
Okay.
asking a question.
Okay.
Pastor
Okay.
Okay.
Innocent. Uh-huh.
Yes,
Let
please.
me see.
Okay. Where is the? Can we have the question?
Yeah, he's on the screen there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. He said, "Thanks for a wonderful session. I couldn't follow all the way because of distractions in the office. You said something about a leader doing things that will make him likable by all around him. My question is, what are those actions that a leader can take to make all attracted to and like you? That's one. Number two, how can one prevent a situation where your friendly and simple nature make the people to turn around to neglect you due to so much familiarity?"
Familiarity.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you
All
can,
right. So
yeah.
we don't have all the time to talk about increasing your likability, especially at the workplace. But let me just give you one attribute or two attributes you can put up, and then people will love you. Now, you have to do the things that interest the boss and your colleagues. Okay, things that interest your boss and your colleagues. Okay, your boss does not know everything. The fact that he or she is the CEO, the executive director, does not mean it does not mean that he's a genius. There are certain ideas you have about how the organization, the church, the family, the business can move to the next level. Don't keep quiet. Do not keep quiet. Share these ideas to the boss. Boss, I think it's time to repaint this building. I think it's time to change this signboard from what it is to the current one that is used by other people. I think it's time to do this. I think it's time. This is my humble opinion and suggestions, and I think it's going to help the organization. Fine. That's one. Share ideas that are able to move the organization from point A to point Z, from point zero to point hero. Okay, so don't think they know everything. Don't think people know everything. So these are for people working in offices, and then you work for somebody. Please share ideas that are able to move the organization to the next level. And that's don't think it's not my job description. And that's another thing. Do things outside your job description. In the 21st century, if you want to go far, you don't do things just because my work is to send emails, my work is to respond to mails, my work is to just customer service. No, do the things you are able to do. They say jack of all trades. Yeah, be the master of all. If you are able to respond to emails, fine. Take care of your boss. Take care of your boss. Be proactive. Okay, as your boss is thinking, how do we do this? You're suggesting. That's one way you can increase your likability. Even though they're laying off other staff, you will remain. You must remain. Okay. So, and then of course, things like coming to work in time, being punctual, and all that, making sure that you're always dressed. in a way that you'll be used as an example for other people to copy. So these are tiny, tiny, tiny little things we can do to increase our likability. This platform is, we just talked about influential leadership. Maybe next time we can now focus on uh, how you can, that's increasing your likability. Just we'll focus on that topic and we'll share a lot and a lot. Now, your second question is true. Familiarity breeds content, and it comes from a place of people who know you, your family members. You are saying something, they think you are wasting your ideas are crazy. You're saying something, they are taking you on serious. You say you want to write a book, and they're like, which one that one, which day that one starts? You're talking about organizing a class like this and say, don't join them, because they know you, they know your name, they know your parents. I mean, they know where you're from. Remember what happened to Jesus? The son of a carpenter. I know your father. I know your mother. We know your sisters. Are they not here with us? So what else? And so I would tell you this: there should be what you should do is to be able to have what is called selective deafness. Selective deafness. Okay, there should be people you listen to and the people you don't listen to. Don't worry, it's time. It's about time, and nature will draw a natural line between the people who despise you and the people who take you serious. The people who are likely to take you serious are those who don't even know you from anywhere. So by the time they've seen your results and the fame and the success that comes from the outside, they will be forced to say, okay, oh man, this is serious. This is serious, okay? So this thing, like play, it has become something serious. So do not, I'm not saying you should chase them away. I'm not saying you should, just shun them. What I'm trying to say is find a way to focus on what you have drawn for yourself, your vision, your objectives, your goal. Focus on it. Do not mind the distractions. Do not allow them to get to you. Do not allow them to weigh you down. Have mental agility. You have to be strong enough. You have to be selectively deaf. Do not listen when the success and everything has come. They will all run to say, oh my God, they want to be part of this. They want to be part of this. So if you are like me, because I have this friendly, jovial nature that attracts people, but there's also a point where I let them know my values, and that's another thing. Sorry, I'm taking too much time. So they have to know your value system, the things you value, the things that you pay your attention to, the things you spend your time, your money on, okay, and your energy on. They have to know, and that will now draw certain lines. Okay, yes, I'm jovial, but there are certain conversations you should not have in my presence. I'm jovial, yes, but there are places I cannot go to. Yes, I'm jovial, I'm open, I'm gregarious, I'm sociable, but there are things I cannot do. You have to tell them these things, and not just telling them, they have to see you doing them. Okay, they have to see you doing them. So for somebody like me, I'll be on my PC or reading a book or trying to jot down something I'm going to present somewhere. And when they come, they see me doing that thing today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. Definitely, we no match again now. There's no synchronization again. Okay, so they will definitely find their way. I told you, nature will draw a natural line. You're not proud, you're not egoistic, you're not pompous, but because you channeled your energy to your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, they will naturally go if they're not aligned with what you have chosen to do. Okay, so I hope that helps you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very sure the question has been answered. So please go ahead and tell us about your upcoming
Okay.
program.
All right. Thank you very much. So, very briefly, I have this group coaching program known as the Next Level Conversation with Val Okafor, and it talks about personal effectiveness, talks about mastering the podium, that's public speaking development. It talks about effective leadership development. All of these things I just shared with you. When you come on board, you will have access to more information on how you can improve your leadership, and then we'll have how you can be a person of value, how to add value anywhere you find yourself. Okay, so we're talking about self-discovery, talk about talent discovery, talent monetization, because you want to be able to export your talent and get financial reward. And then, of course, you have to be able to sell your ideas in the most compelling way, just like I have done tonight. And with the skill of public speaking and effective communication, you are able to do that. So we have all of these things in place for you. And then, of course, effective leadership development, because everything rises and falls on leadership. And when you've started your business and running your project, you want to be able to manage it in such a way that people will want to be part of it. Okay, so that's why we're doing the leadership thing. And then how to add value anywhere you find yourself will help you to develop personal core values that will help you in your business and in your personal life. And this is just for 20,000 naira, but you're not going to pay 20,000 naira. You're not going to pay 5,000 naira, okay, because that's the fee for anybody outside this platform. So because you are here tonight and because you're a part of this platform, we have agreed to give you at the rate of 3,000 naira. Okay, so if you register now, you're going to be paying 3,000 naira instead of 5,000 naira. Trust me, okay, it's not because Val Okafor is the host, but you are going to get loads of value. You're going to be glad that you were a part of this training. Okay, so we are beginning on November 1st, and we'll be ending around 20th of November. So if you sign up today, you're going to be paying just 3,000 naira. Thank you very much, and I hope that you just come to my inbox. My name is Van Okafor on Facebook. My numbers are on my profile, so you can pick it up and chat me on WhatsApp. And so just tell me I am from WAF, Watchman Young Adult Forum, WYAF. Okay, just tell me that you're from there, and then you'll have the discount. I look forward to having you in class and a fruitful conversation. Thank you so much for tonight. God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. Please, viewers, we urge you to take advantage of this opportunity and this offer. It's such a loaded one. Going through the flyers, you find a lot of things, so much to learn, so much value to get from that conversation. So let's hurry and get to him, reach him, then make your payment as fast as possible so that you can jump in and make yourself a brand, a star. Remember, you have to brand yourself as a star. The world is looking for stars, people
Someone is
who are stars.
asking where will
Okay.
your venue be? What will be the venue?
Oh yeah, so it's a virtual training. We are not congregating anywhere. So we're going to congregate on WhatsApp. So it's going to be a closed group. And these courses have been designed in such a way that you can take it anytime within the period that you'll be given. Okay, so it's a course that even you can decide to take it at night because of your busy day. So we've designed it in such a way that it fits everyone. Okay, so it's virtual.
All right. All right. So we hope that our people will take advantage immediately and jump in to make themselves brands and stars. Thank you very much once again, Va, for coming through on the program, on the show. It was a
Thank you,
powerful
sir.
one and a lot of value has been released. Thank you so much. And we look forward to having
My
you some
absolute
other
pleasure,
time.
sir.
Yeah, we also thank
Thank
our
you very
viewers
much. Thank
who
you.
stayed through. We're sure that you were blessed, and we want you to continue staying through, join the forum, or rather invite other watchmen to the forum so that they can always get value from time to time. Thank you so much, everyone, for being on the show tonight. On this note, we'll call it a day. We'll call it a day. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for following through. Thank you and goodbye.